Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here, and oops, I did it again. What can I say? We're back on shared responsibility. We're back with one of the players being the same as last week, but something's indeed different. The player setup is different right now, so let's introduce them without further ado. In the left side of the close spawns, the western front, it's going to be Orb. He is in top 4 of RAGL Masters League already, so he is one of the top contenders for the title. And it goes without saying that he's been covered on this channel countless times, but he's an up-and-coming player. Has really risen through the ranks at a rapid pace over the past couple, 2 or 3 seasons, I'd say. And his opponent, it's the man, the miracle, the Giant Slayer. He lets his V2s do the talking. It's Upps. He has managed to get into Masters by virtue of a weird Chronosphere incident. It involved one Chronosphere and 2 rubber bands. And now he's here to stay. He is surprisingly standing his ground. Especially on this map. This is basically his home turf. So let's see how this goes. Upps is already rallying all his troops to the south, and a 15 stack opener met by a bit of a greedier build for Orb, who has just opted for 5. Can trade favorably, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, nice pulling back the Wounded Soldier, by the way. Nice little micro. But it won't matter because force is overwhelming, and thus the engineer of Orb is already has to be rerouted, is already in a bit of peril. Oh, but so is the engineer of Upps. No, too attentive. Too attentive. There was a nice attempt at a snipe there, but the flame tower is ready for cleanup on aisle 1. There has been a rifleman spill. Just a couple scorch marks left now. Alright, this is gonna be interesting though, because only 3 rifles are right now escorting. Now, this is like one of those escort missions, you know, in video games when there is... Oh my goodness, this is so close to greatness. Orb, can he do it? He's just 1 cell away. Well, this is one of those weird escort missions in most video games that all the people univocally hate, because the person you're escorting is either like slightly slower than you or slightly faster than you. So anyway, wow. Engineer gets away scot-free. Has to activate his turbo boosters. Booster pack activated. Activated now for $9.99. The EA remaster. EA remaster way of doing things. You can now unlock secondary abilities in OpenRA, by the way, in case you were wondering. You just have to pay Tiberium bucks. JK. Anyway, so the engineer of Orb has to venture onto greener pastures. I think he's going to go for the corner Derek right there. That's his safest bet. And even with a fresh 15 stack of rifles, he invested a lot into the early game, by the way. That's double ref. And Upps probably up to his war factory, yeah. So Orbis went for a weird build. That's his 3rd power plant. I guess he was just afraid of Grin snipes. I mean, yeah, can happen any time of the day. And Upps, unlike Angio last week, decides to take the freebie, decides to just grab the hospital, because why the hell not? Now, whoa, this is an aggressive move. Orb, he's trying to anticipate the base push by counter-cheesing, counter-base pushing. Alright, I like what I'm seeing so far, the thought process that went into this. And both still have their engineers safely tucked away. One is here in the corner, the other one is in the APC. Let's see if he's gonna survive the assault right there, the onslaught of the APC. But it's always tricky, because if you unload your own engineer too early and then your enemy swoops in with his APC, well, rip. There goes the neighborhood. Right now, hasn't been scouted yet. Oh, the engineer still being on a covert mission right there. Orb not picking up on the signals there. Not picking up on the engineer being hidden away. Thus, gets away scot-free. Alright, that's pretty good. So, this game plan, okay, I bet 100 Tiberium bucks that Orb is just trying to Tesla base creep this. But he does have, like, his eco is not that great. It's on, what, 5 harvesters now? That's usually around the expansion timing, but that's why the 3 power plants were built early, I get it. Okay, so that's nowhere near him having a service depot. So he's floating like maybe 500 power right now. Yeah, 300, 360, close enough. Yeah, there goes the Tesla coil. Depends on the response by Upps now, who doesn't have that much eco himself. 5th harvester coming online just now. Yeah, rerouting by Upps. Doing the right thing. And a radar dome by him as well. This is... Okay, I'm not sure whether he scouted this, he probably didn't. No. But the radar dome is... unbeknownst to both players, a great counter. And in comes the airfield as well. Perfect timing. Upps is Ukraine. So if he waits for another 5 minutes, he's gonna have the access to the base blasters. Good old base blasters there. Alright, so Orb just taken his Derrick safely as well. Corner Derrick not being taken. So that leaves us with a 1 Derrick advantage for Upps for the time being, even after the caps have finished. Not too bad. Not too great either. And a flock of civilians, that's the angry mob. Arm them with AKs, buddy. Where's the AK upgrade? AK-47s for everyone! Oh, alright, there go the V2s. And he has really proven his worth with the V2s. He's the wielder of the golden V2. Oops, that is. Hey! Single rifleman. Just deterring the angry mob. No shoes for you guys. Wait, those were the workers. Never mind, that doesn't work. Alrighty. APC's just scouting. A lot of early game juice being invested by Orb into just APC's random base push that didn't accomplish anything. And now he's gonna have to deal with 3 V2s and the numbers are rising. That's already a staggering count for a 6-minute Derrick. Wow! Okay, he snagged away the engineer as well from Orb. This is going to leave him in a tight spot. So, something I wanted to mention previously. I'll make sure to mention it at the end of the cast as well, but there is currently a vote on ModDB for the most popular, I guess, open source project out there, and vote for OpenRA. What you waiting for, boys and girls? Vote for OpenRA, get you free Tiberium bucks right now. Yikes, that's critical mass. 5 V2 launchers, enough to burst any building in the entire game. Oh, that's brutal. Slowly chipping away at the base here, just the whittling has begun. And a nice infantry force to back it up as well, so he doesn't run risk of getting run down by tanks. Yeah, that's really well played by Upps so far. Just intuitively finding the right counter. And even though he hasn't expanded, and he needs to expand very soon, by the way, because he's running dry on ore. As long as he keeps Upps Orb busy there, who by the way has gotten his own. Wow, those V2 hits, perfect. And he made sure not to overkill the infantry. He was targeting different cells with different V2s, so that's really highly demanding on the APM. Let's see, where are his APM? Okay, not that high actually. Orb is up to 50. Orb, good old spam clicking. Well, at least the turrets have now locked on to the V2s. What is this? Oh no! Oh no! Is that a throw? Is that a throw? Ooh, that's 2 V2s down. Third being chipped away. Ooh. Well, Yak doesn't survive to see the light of day. And another Yak is actually kind of far off. So Orb really needs to transfer his harvesters. And the service depot just goes down without much resistance whatsoever. So still a very compact force. And Upps also is simultaneously starting a base push on the north, instead of just expanding. Problem is, he needs to keep up the pressure, because if he doesn't, then Orb's expansion is gonna pay off, and eventually he's gonna out-macro him. Yeah, compact cluster. Oh, one of the V2s being so low there. That was not good. Yikes, he squandered another Yak. Squandering the gifts that the OpenRA gods bestowed upon him. Ooh, the last V2 is so low. But it doesn't matter, because Upps is now transitioned into heavy tanks. Into more of the meteor units. Plus a nice infantry cluster to back it up. Which means that Orb is gonna be hard pressed, and he still just is frantically deploying refinery after refinery. Oh, if only there were a Tesla coil ready now. This is a hotly contested expansion. That's one hell of a hotly contested spot there. Okay, in comes the push. This time, though, it's a problematic position for Upps, because he can't really engage into this. There's like a wall of flame towers. Yeah, recognizes it. And V2, Orb has got his own V2s now. So this might spice things up a bit. He's also gotten solid econ now, plus double tech back up. There's a Tesla coil. Probably zap the ore truck before it goes down. Yeah. No contest. Ooh. Flame tower to finish the job. Alright. Now we're cooking. With gasoline. Literally, by the way. Oh, the Allahu Akbar. Yeah, gets a flak truck, gets a V2. Probably just as close to an even trade as you can get at this stage of the game. At this stage of an insane game. Uh-oh. Those flak trucks a bit too close to the sun. bit too needlessly aggressive. I really don't like that Orb is pulling back his Yak so much. He's lost a lot of them, and this one is idle. He needs the line of sight. It's his bread and butter there. He can't engage blindly, because that's what happens if you engage blindly. Flank on the V2s, and that's the main damage dealers down. The Conyard can now relocate. Yak goes down again. Another Yak fed to the gods of war here. Oh, and the Conyard of Upps survives. We are seeing a repeat of the game against Anju right there. And yeah, odds overwhelming by now. Orb just can't get the critical mass up, even though having decent-ish econ doesn't really matter to him. Oh, nice stop command issued there, so the Yaks would acquire the, the infantry would acquire the Yaks as targets. And the counter V2s have to be so good. Orb needs to make it count. Every single V2 shot needs to land now. Well, the counter V2 shots were a lot more successful. Let's see. Yes, excellent, excellent. I approve. He's good death count. Alright. MCV moving forward, aggressive base push, and I think that's gonna spell the end of Orb in game 1 here. We just can't seem to get critical mass up. Adding insult to injury. The big fuck your base button has been pushed. Alright. Blast off. Time for blast off. Ooh, moving out of the radius. Well, okay, chunking down the V2. Very low, but this is now gonna leave the MCV free to come in and take a more aggressive stance. It's also a matter of pathing, because those V2s now are really exposed. Whereas up here, they had a natural relative safety net. Okay, there's one last war factory remaining. If that falls, then I predict that Orb is gonna tap out. Going for another engineer. That's a really late engineer. Where's that going? Probably trying to capture something here. Yeah. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Oh my god. The Yaks. Buddy. Orb. I mean, you're usually better than this with the Yaks. What is he doing there? Pop. That was a nice pop. That was like 3 rockets. 3 rockets for 1 shot. Another Yak down. Yeah. This is just not working. This is not working at all. Gross underestimation of of the anti-air capabilities of the army. I don't know what it's actually about. The engineer just haphazardly moving into range of the flak tracks. Good night, sweet prince. And down goes another Yak. Who would have guessed at that point in the game? Ooh, nice chunk. Yeah, could have been a bit better, but I really adore how adamantly he's using the force fire button. I've never seen him just waste V2 shots, or at least not since the mid game. I've never really seen him waste them. They were all just really targeted control fire. Yeah, always use control fire with your V2s. Awesome. I think that's gonna spell the end, and it's gonna eventually conclude game number 1. That Yak pretty much was dead to rights, because that was an autopilot. Oh, 5 Yaks over your MCV. You know you're gonna have a bad day. GG, screw this map. That's Orb's way of saying that he actually loves shared responsibility, as we all do. Kappa Pride. Oh wow, I didn't see that coming. Well, I sort of saw it coming, because I heard of the Giant Slayer, and his reputation has not been tarnished so far. He is not disappointed. He has proven his worth. He's proven that his money is where his mouth is. Taking a point off of Orb, taking a point off of Static Scannon, taking a point off of myself. Not Angie though. And not Barf either. Still though, pretty good track record, and let's see, how is this gonna end? Game 2? I'm hyped. See you in a second.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Alright, the Maître du Cheese is at it again. The map this time is Badger Hills. I need not say any more words about this map. I hope it gets dumped from the pool by come Season 7. I don't want to see it any longer. And Orb going for Refinery straight up. Just skipping the unnecessary barracks shenanigans, but same holds true for Upps from what my production tab tells me right there. Yes, sir. Why is this map bad? Because capture the middle or die. I've elaborated a couple times, I believe, but just to make sure that the last person is getting, that I'm getting the point home to even the last person, is these weird cliffs here prevent you from maneuvering about with armies, and especially if you're having like placement issues. If you placed your war factory in the original base, and your opponent has the middle, then all the rally points just lead to death and demise. you have to basically commit to one side, but the problem is then your opponent is free to react quicker than you because he's got a shorter distance to rush you with. Oh wow, that's a kennel with a third dog almost on the way. That's interesting. So Orb is opening up a puppy mill. Ah, there's the fourth. Okay, the dogs are breeding. Stop it. Stop it. Turn off the kennel. No, not a fourth dog. Please, I don't want to see puppy mills in my game. This is probably a War Factory follow-up right there. Just for safety measures. I guess against the Gren Rush. And one of the dogs gets sacrificed just for scouting. Rip. Rip, a good boy. Yeah, he's safeguarding them is like his mascots right there. And just classic, straight up. I want to see an APC. I want to see an APC with a dog right there. Please do it. Doggo Dachshund needs some action. He needs to go for a little walk. Needs to go for a little midnight snack as well here on Badger Hills. It's hungry for some riflemen. Those dogs are vicious, basically hungry hippos. And let's see. I think the build's right there, completely identical. Yeah, harvesters. Harvesters for everyone, building Soviet economy. So nothing to get excited about right there. But I predict that this game is gonna be wild. Double power plant, yeah, no. Nothing out of the ordinary so far, and Orb going for his power plant as well. A couple seconds behind right there, it seems. It's a bit weird. Oh no, he went for a second ref. So he's actually a couple seconds ahead, scratch that. And just big macro game. While we're at it, guys, girls, everyone who's watching, dear internet, support OpenRA on ModDB and vote. Just a single click. I'm gonna put the link in the description afterwards in post-production because it's gonna be super awesome if we could make it mod of the year. Or I guess free title of the year. I didn't check the categories properly. I just saw the post on Reddit. And it's up for yeah, it's up for election day basically. So Orb, yeah, going for a classic. That's just the capture the middle or die build. It's just probably that's maybe a 5th harvester or a 3rd refinery. Yeah, and then MCV. 3rd refinery, MCV. He's not fucking around this time. Let's see how it works out for him. Ooh. Oh no! Upps has made a mistake right there. What? That's Grens. That's late Grens here. Okay, so it's starting to spice up. He hasn't seen those though. But problem is, you never want to have just 2 rocket soldiers without any infantry support, like any other infantry support, like rifle infantry to distract, because if it's just 2 rocket soldiers by themselves and the APC is facing towards you, the rockets are gonna lose. The APC can basically one-shot, or like with one burst of its weapon, it can kill 1 rocket soldier, and it takes, I believe, 6 shots to die from a rocket, maybe 7. So, whoa, that's a flaming camembert special. That's a nice little cheese build here. That's a Gren APC and a Flamer APC. Okay, this is not an all-in by any means, but it's a lot of cheese coming our way. Our new savior and overlord of cheese. I like it. Uh-oh. You know, the crushes need to be really lucky here. Yikes, there's a heavy tank as well. This APC probably forfeit. Oh! Wow, all the rockets were moving, and thus the APC defies gravity, defies logics, defies physics, and just scoots on through. There's the flame tower. Ah, the timing was not ideal. Uh-oh. This APC should have arrived a bit earlier, I guess. So, I guess there is a second flame tower on the way for Orb, who is now broke, it seems. Yeah. Pretty broke to my taste. Second APC has now been revealed, but he just placed the power plant, so he knows what's happening there. Oh my goodness. 5 flamers. Probably gonna get the service depot though. Yes, service depot goes down. Okay. So that was a moderate success, to put it in the language of the diplomats, or to put it in plain English. That was a fucking train wreck. That was a burning pile of disaster. With another pile of disaster, a dung heap of disaster on top of it, just as a little cherry topping. All right, it was a nice idea in theory, but didn't hold up. And Upps is committing a big mistake. He knows that there is a base, and he's leaving his MCV alone. It's just like, yeah, what could go wrong? The APC, this little Dorothy, the Little Dorothy MCV, this is not Kansas anymore. You best scoot the fuck out of there. Ooh, poops out the flame tower to stall for some time. And luckily there are no flak trucks here for Orb. So for the time being the MCV stays alive, but the big boys are coming in. In come the Papa heavy tanks. Yeah, those are gonna crush any resistance whatsoever. This MCV is toast, unless he runs it back on a smart path, like to the north maybe. Or? It did get revealed, yeah. Right, there it is. But did Orb pay attention is the question, because he's right now chasing imaginary dragons there. Trying to push into the main base's Orb. I doubt that's the right course of action right there. It's got such an advantage. Oh, up to 5 racks is Upps, by the way. And only 3 racks now for Orb. Also a nice little dispatch of infantry might come into play. But this Conyard, yeah, you're toast, buddy. Probably should go for the sell-off. Please don't tell me he queued up a refinery. Wait, what? Did he just turn around? Oh no. Orb's game sense is usually really good, and like there's this one time where this MCV's like 1 tile away from him, and it's like, nah, we're good. We're Gucci. MCV is it's home. No worries. I'll get him later. I'll get you later. Ooh, that was close for Upps. So that leaves him with a triple Conyard build, actually, surprisingly enough. And this hasn't been revealed. Hey, the dog has done its job, though. Yeah, but a big force, big compact infantry cluster as well. 3 heavy tanks, a couple APCs just for a damage soak. Yeah, this push got potential. There is a... the dispatch has gotten itself into position, so I hope that Upps pulls the trigger at any time in the near future. Oh, it's been revealed. No raid attack this time around. I'm really surprised. Okay, those heavies. Disregarding everything. Probably just... yeah, that's a classic Orb tank flank. That's gonna be so brutally efficient. Yikers, down goes the War Factory. Upps is in shambles. He's in a world of hurt right there. He's just lost his only production building there, like vehicle production building. Oh! So is Orb going to lose it. Well, blow for blow. An eye for an eye. A War Factory for a War Factory. Requiescat in pace. Yeah. So that just happened. 2 harvesters down for Orb. And... ooh, he got 3 harvesters on the expansion though. And the mainline expansion harvesters have been pulled off the line. Big worker strike here. Yeah. It's, Upps should have been playing France. Like, realistically, only the French get to this level of strikes. Look at those strikes. That's a French strike right there. That's not what the Russians do. By the way, I didn't talk about it. It's a Russia mirror match. Let's hope it goes in the late game. Cup of Pride. Probably a bit too late for some wishful thinking there. But this has probably... can you spell comeback? Can you smell the comeback? Wow, they're dead on even right now, even after all this mess. Combat tab. Orb slightly ahead. Wow, didn't see that coming. And that's really smart, the mine layer here. He's just trying to prevent another flank right there. Yeah, I dig. So if he pushes into... this is the most vulnerable spot of Orb right now. If Upps has the best game sense in the world, he would just take this road down there, down the south, and would start tackling the Conyard plus the expansion refineries. Because those are usually the juiciest econ spots. In the middle is only there for its strategic value. Middle is not there for its resources. Resources run dry very quickly, actually. Ooh, that's gonna be rough though, because all the rockets are out of position. So this base might be headed home. Oh, pull it back, Upps. There is no way of holding this. Yeah, so he does. Smart move right there, but still he's gonna lose a lot. And in the middle, that's what I was talking about. Like, he wants to counterattack now. He knows that Orb is here. But due to the nature of this map, all Orb needs to do now is hold the middle and defend with as many defenses as he can, because it's a choke point. And would have taken Upps way longer to just take the right-hand expansion and attack there. So, ooh, the Tesla coil is met with an unfortunate fate. You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Ooh. Forces from Orb still so compact, you can't engage into this at all. So I guess those 2 refineries are once again gonna go the way of all living beings eventually. Right. Upps has a refinery there, but he doesn't have an army to back it up anymore. And this is gonna be Orb closing the sack, moving in with his entire forces. Oh no. Well, I smell a 1-1 incoming. I smell a draw. Ooh. This is a rough match. And a hard-fought draw by both, though, because Orb, even in Game 2, didn't have an easy time. Just putting it out there. Upps has been putting up a fight. Actual solid play by him there. Yeah, this is the Chi-Chi push with the dog. Doggo Dachshund still at it. At the helm. Commanding Officer Dachshund. He has been promoted. Alright. Time to end this with the dog show. The puppy mill fight, is it gonna finally pay off? Yes! No! You murderer. Orb just killed his own puppy. Man. How can you give a man who builds puppy mills a master's title? Don't do it. Ooh, nice AE from the Flamer, but ultimately forfeit. Ultimately it's all for nothing, yeah. There goes the MCV. And the other expansion has been cleared out as well. He has deployed a sensible mine belt right there, like, that's sizable actually. But all his refineries are falling and crumbling, and this little counter push is not gonna accomplish anything. There is V2 rockets out for Orb, and that's gonna spell GG. Complemented by a Yak. You know, the free complementary Yak that Orb gets and then decides to immediately waste into 5 rockets. That's what I'm waiting for. MCV still trying to be sneaky, but I don't think there is anywhere to run. He has exhausted all his options right there. Wow, how is he still on 3 Conyards? How many Conyards has this man lost? He's lost 1 here, at least 2, so it's built at least 4 MCVs plus his original one. Alright, let's see how deep the mine belt goes right there. Is it gonna be enough of a deterrent for Orb, or is it just gonna decide to fuck it and clear him out the Russian way? Ivan, you scout for mine. Yeah, he's mine, yes. Definitely. Boris, you go ahead. Maybe still mine, maybe not. I think not, no problem. Boris, hello? He not responding on radio. Well, bad reception, I guess. Bad reception in Kingdom Come. Alright, anyway, enough of that. Orb finally patching up his tanks, and that's just the victory lap right there. Yes. In he goes with his entire forces. Another refinery down the drain. MCV needs to scoop back, and now there is no more econ left. Just those little ore patches. That's all he has, those specks of econ. He has been checkmated by Upps right there. And still not giving up, though. That's impressive. What an impressive feat. Oh, the Yak Scout is gonna scout that there is nothing to scout at all. Not a single army. 2 defenses, maybe 3 defenses littered around about the base. He's gonna be like, yes. Yes, I can take this engagement, depending on how many mines are deployed. Ooh. That's a compact force again. It's interesting how Orb always moves his army like this, where he uses his infantry as spearhead instead of the tanks. I don't know. Sometimes it works, ooh. Other times it's actually detriment. Plonk, plonk. Yes! Russian minesweeper. 52 pickup. There we go, and that's gonna spell GG. That is definitely... undoubtedly gonna spell GG. Yeah! That was a fantastic series. To do some post-game analyzing right there. Guess what? The guy who took the middle first won the game. I'm starting to notice a pattern there. I think the trend is going to continue. I would love for someone to do research on this and analysis of replays in Masters and Minions League, because I think there's like a 100% correlation between someone taking the middle and Badger's Hills and winning. But anyway, that's besides the point. That was a fantastic match, and more even than I thought after this crazy early game where all rushes failed from Upps. He still managed to equalize in the eco department. So anyway, that's been tons of fun, so that's gonna be a 1-1 draw. And that leaves Orb in the top 4 playoffs, which are gonna be played between Barf, Sedix Ganon, Orb, and one of 2, either myself or Anju. But we still have to play our best of 1. Alright, tune in for the next Tuesday stream. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.